What if I told you that 6 months from now, your entire life could look unrecognizable, better, stronger, wealthier, sharper, and more in control? What if I told you that you are one decision away from a version of yourself that even your past self wouldn't believe? Too good to be true. That's exactly the kind of mindset that keeps people stuck. The rich don't think like this. They understand that transformation isn't a mystery. It's a formula. It's not a miracle, it's a strategy. So before you roll your eyes or scroll away, remember this. 6 months is just 180 days. And each one of those days is an opportunity to either rise or rot. The question is, what will you do with them? People who become wealthy and powerful don't accidentally stumble into success. They don't wake up lucky. They manufacture their results, and they do it with deliberate, brutal focus. They start by identifying where they are weak, lazy, and undisciplined. They cut those traits off like a disease. Harsh? Maybe. Necessary? Absolutely, because comfort zones create casualties. If you keep doing what you've been doing, you'll keep getting what you've been getting. And if that idea doesn't terrify you, then maybe you've already settled into mediocrity. Do you know what separates rich people from average people? It's not just money, it's mindset. Rich people think in terms of returns. They ask themselves, if I invest my energy into this, what will I get back? They treat their time like gold and their focus like a sniper rifle. Meanwhile, most people are busy scrolling, gossiping, wasting hours like it's nothing. 6 months is a long time for someone who knows how to use every second. But it passes in a blink for someone who wastes their life. That's why rich people move different. They're not casual about time, attention, or ambition. Every transformation starts with pain. The pain of realizing you've wasted time. The pain of understanding no one is coming to save you. The pain of owning your laziness, your distractions, your inconsistency. But pain isn't your enemy. It's your alarm clock. It's there to wake you up. You don't change your life by reading quotes or saving reels. You change it by getting angry at the current version of yourself and demanding more. You change it when you finally say, enough, I'm done living like this. That's when the 6-month countdown begins. Here's the truth most people won't tell you. Rich people create leverage through habits. Tiny, unsexy habits repeated with deadly precision. Waking up early when no one else is watching. Planning their day like a general planning war. Reading what others ignore. Saying no to 99% of things to say yes to one that matters. Discipline isn't glamorous, but it's undefeated. While others want quick results, rich people trust the process. And it's always the same. Discipline plus focus plus time equals transformation. Every time. In the next 6 months, you could lose 30 pounds, learn a new skill, double your income, or write the first chapter of a life-changing book. Sounds big? It's not. Rich people break big goals into ruthless daily actions. They reverse engineer success. If they want a 6-figure business, they ask, what must I do today, tomorrow, next week? And then they execute. The rest of the world is stuck dreaming. Rich people are calculating. Stop fantasizing and start acting. A dream with no plan is just a wish. What will sabotage your 6-month transformation? Weak emotions? You'll feel tired, unmotivated, rejected, impatient? That's normal. Rich people expect it. They just don't surrender to it. Your mind will scream. Take a break, skip the workout, relax today. But you must treat those emotions like a liar. Emotions lie. Systems win. Rich people don't act when they feel like it. They act because they decided to. You don't rise when it's easy. You rise when it's hard and you still show up. Environment plays a bigger role than you think. Rich people obsess over. They remove distractions, cut off toxic influences, and surround themselves with killers. People who push, provoke, and elevate. They don't hope their environment gets better. They build it. So ask yourself, who do I spend time with? What fills my mind daily? What do I tolerate that's holding me back? 6 months is enough to rebuild your surroundings and set up a mental fortress, but only if you're willing to burn the old one down. Let's be real. Most people don't lack goals. They lack urgency. I'll start next month. I'll wait until Monday. After the holidays, I'll get serious. Lies, delays, excuses. Rich people treat time like an emergency. They act like the clock is running out, because it is. 6 months is everything if you approach it like war. If you don't, it's just another season wasted. Stop acting like you have forever. You don't. You've got now. This moment, this decision. What you do with it determines who you'll be 6 months from now. Period. So here we are. No sugarcoating, no gimmicks, just truth. If you want to transform your life in 6 months, you need to adopt the mind of the rich. Ruthless focus, brutal discipline, surgical habits, laser urgency. That's the difference between someone who watches videos like this and someone who uses them to fuel a complete identity shift. What are you willing to sacrifice? What are you willing to destroy in order to build? The next 6 months could change your life or confirm your excuses. Choose wisely. The problem isn't that people don't know what to do. The problem is they don't do what they know. Rich people don't wait to feel ready. They don't chase motivation. They act in spite of how they feel. That's a muscle you must build. Taking action even when your brain says not today. You can't wait until your emotions align with your goals. That's a losing strategy. The moment you start acting without permission from your feelings, you become dangerous. You separate yourself from the crowd of talkers and join the elite few who move in silence and results. If you want transformation, you must first destroy comfort. Comfort is the real enemy here. Comfort whispers, "You've done enough." It makes mediocrity feel like peace. But peace without purpose is a slow death. Rich people stay uncomfortable. They force growth. They stretch themselves. 6 months of sustained discomfort, pushing harder, waking up earlier, saying no to temptation, can forge a person others won't recognize. Pain sharpens. Comfort dulls. If your days feel too easy, you're probably not growing. You're just existing. That's not a life. That's survival. Your phone is a weapon or a curse. Rich people weaponize it. They use it to learn, build, connect, invest. Everyone else? Distracted, addicted, numb. In the next 6 months, your phone will either build your empire or drain your soul. That tiny device in your hand determines whether you scroll through other people's lives or create a life worth watching. Audit your screen time, brutally. Are you mastering your tools, or are you letting your tools master you? The choice is made every single hour, every single day. You don't need everyone to believe in you. That's a trap. Needing approval is a cage that keeps people small. Rich people know that belief starts within. They're not waiting for applause. They act first, and the world catches up. Stop looking for support from people who don't even support themselves. You want to win? You'll have to do it lonely, doubted, and misunderstood at first. That's the price of transformation. You don't become extraordinary by being accepted. You become extraordinary by being relentlessly committed, even when no one claps. The rich don't hustle randomly. They plan strategically. Their goals aren't vague. They're specific, time-bound, and backed by action maps. They don't just say, "I want to make more money." They say, "I will earn $20,000 more by December 1st by doing A, B, and C." That's power. The next 6 months demand clarity. Write your goal, break it down into actions, assign dates, review it weekly. This isn't optional. This is how grown men and women move. Hope isn't a strategy. Systems are. Here's what people don't understand. Success isn't sexy day to day. It's boring. It's waking up, following your system, and repeating it with no applause. The results show up when everyone else gave up. 6 months isn't about doing the impossible. It's about doing the necessary daily without fail. Most people get bored. They chase new. Rich people chase effective. They're okay with boredom if it leads to mastery. Boring creates millionaires. Chasing excitement creates regret. Choose wisely. The rich also guard their mental diet. What you listen to, read, and think shapes you. 6 months of feeding your brain with winning thoughts can change your identity. Stop letting garbage in. Cut off the music, content, and voices that make you feel small, angry, lazy. Replace it with fire, audiobooks, speeches, mentors, even if they don't know you. Program your mind like a machine, because in 6 months you'll be a reflection of your daily inputs. Nothing more, nothing less. Don't underestimate the power of micro-decisions. Rich people win by doing the small things consistently. One more rep, one more call, one more page. When done daily, those add up to empires. But people ignore them because they seem too small. You don't lose because of one bad day. You lose because you didn't stack enough good ones. Make each choice count. The next meal, the next scroll, the next task. You either move closer to your goal or further away. There is no neutral. Want to know the real secret? Rich people don't need to feel motivated to do what's right. They don't treat discipline like a temporary tool. They make it part of who they are. You want lasting change? Identity shift. Start thinking like a high performer. Act like it. Speak like it. Even when no one sees it. Especially when no one sees it. The repetition rewires your brain. You don't rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your standards. And the rich keep theirs high. Time is slipping. That's not motivational fluff. It's physics. You're aging. Opportunities are disappearing. Potential, if not activated, becomes poison. If that doesn't light a fire under you, what will? 6 months from now, you'll either look back proud or look back ashamed. There is no middle. There's no kind of changed. You either transformed or you didn't. You either acted or you didn't. You either chose growth or you chose to stay safe. This is your moment. Burn the excuses. Build the new version of you. They'll call you obsessed. They'll say you've changed. And that's exactly the point. You should change. You're not here to stay the same. You're here to evolve, to rise, to become unrecognizable to the version of you that's settled. The richest people in the world were once doubted, mocked, or ignored. So what? They didn't build their lives to be liked. They built them to be legendary. You want comfort or legacy? Choose. Because you can't have both. In 6 months, you'll either blend in or break out. People want change but hate sacrifice. That's the contradiction that destroys dreams. 6 months of brutal, focused discipline can do more than 6 years of wishful thinking. But here's the catch. You'll have to bleed. You'll have to delete habits that once comforted you. You'll have to say no to parties, gossip, sugar, and validation. You'll need to embrace boredom, early mornings, late nights, and silence. Sounds harsh? It is. But that's what elevation feels like. That's what winning demands. Your energy is everything. Rich people guard it like gold. They don't let weak conversations, lazy people, or drama drain them. They know energy is their fuel. It fuels decisions, ambition, execution. The next 6 months, you'll need to protect your energy like your life depends on it, because it does. That means cutting ties, minimizing nonsense, and staying aligned. Your circle should challenge you, not comfort you. Be around fire, be around hunger, or go alone, but never dim down to fit in. Here's the harsh truth. Most people don't want you to win. Not really, because your rise reminds them of their excuses. So when you go silent, when you start moving differently, they'll feel threatened. They'll question your change. They'll try to guilt you back into average. Smile. Let them talk. Let them watch. 6 months of ignoring noise will get you further than a lifetime of seeking permission. You weren't born to please. You were born to lead. So stop explaining. Start executing. Fear is fake, but it feels real. It's the brain's defense mechanism against the unknown. But guess what? Growth lives in the unknown. Rich people don't wait for fear to vanish. They act through it. Courage is a decision, not a mood. You don't conquer fear by thinking. You conquer it by moving. So when the doubt creeps in, when anxiety rises, you don't run. You lean into it. 6 months of facing fear head-on will change everything about who you believe you are. That's power. Forget balance. In transformation, there is no balance. There is intensity, there is obsession. That's the phase you enter now. The balance comes after you've built the foundation. Rich people don't chase balance. They chase dominance. They know it takes seasons of chaos to build peace. For 6 months, go all in. Let people call it extreme. Let them laugh. Because while they're posting memes, you're changing your bloodline. That's not a hobby. It's a mission. And missions require sacrifice. You must become uncomfortable with average. Like it burns, like it offends your soul. Average isn't neutral, it's poison, it's a trap wrapped in convenience. You want to be rich? Then you must reject normal. Stop talking like everyone else. Stop thinking like everyone else. When people say take it easy, smile and keep grinding. Because taking it easy got them exactly where you don't want to be. Be allergic to ease. 6 months of rejecting comfort can create a life others spend 30 years chasing. Execution beats information. You already know what to do. You're not missing knowledge, you're missing action. Rich people don't hoard knowledge, they weaponize it. They apply, they test, they move fast, they fall forward. Stop consuming and start creating. Take one idea and run with it for 90 days. Focus, double down. Track results? That's how you make progress. 6 months of massive, relentless execution will beat a lifetime of overthinking. Move now. Perfect later. And here's the mindset shift. The next 6 months are not about proving anyone wrong. They're about proving yourself right. You always knew there was more in you. You felt it. That fire? It's not random. It's your calling screaming. Stop betraying that voice. Honor it. Build the life that matches that fire. That means no shortcuts, no half effort. You give it all. Because the world doesn't know you transformation. You owe it to yourself. It's not about them, it's about you. Most people are alive, but not awake. That ends now. You're not here to repeat days, you're here to own them. You're here to build momentum so loud that the old, you can't survive it. From now on, every decision filters through one question. Does this get me closer to who I'm becoming? If not, cut it. Time is short. Potential is perishable. Your next 6 months are either your excuse or your evolution. Choose today. Choose you. The future is watching. People will underestimate you, but that's your weapon. Let them think you're soft, quiet, unsure until you execute louder than they ever imagined. That's how rich minds work. They don't seek validation. They use doubt as fuel. For the next 6 months, stop correcting people's opinions. Let results scream louder than your words ever could. This isn't about revenge. It's about reclaiming your time, your power, your name. The old you fades when you start acting like you've already won. You can't skip pain, but you can make it count. Every rich person you admire has suffered deeply, but they didn't stay there. They turned pain into precision, into planning, into power. Don't pray for an easy life. Pray for the strength to dominate a hard one. When you feel broken, good. That means you're awake. Now sharpen that pain into discipline. Use it. 6 months of turning pain into performance will make your enemies disappear, and your old life with them. You're not tired. You're uninspired, and there's a difference. Rich people aren't motivated every day. They're committed even when it's boring, even when nobody claps, even when failure slaps them in the face. Stop waiting for motivation. It's a mood. What you need is vision. Burn it into your mind. See the life you're building so clearly that you refuse to return to the one you're escaping. 6 months of showing up even when it sucks will break the version of you that settles. Every level has a devil. The more you grow, the more pressure comes. That's the price. But pressure builds diamonds, not dust. The rich don't fear pressure. They live in it. They adapt. And that's what you're doing now. You're building psychological armor. When your emotions scream quit, your mind whispers just one more. 6 months of pressure is not punishment, it's preparation. For the bigger life, for the greater you, stand tall. You were built for this. Say this to yourself daily. I am not normal. Say it out loud. Feel it, own it. Because normal people fear judgment, crave comfort, and obey limits. You're about to defy gravity, about to outgrow your circumstances. That requires radical thinking, radical discipline, radical rejection of the average. 6 months of being different, of making uncomfortable choices, will elevate you into a version of yourself that even you didn't think was possible. You want real change, then audit everything. Your diet, your mindset, your friends, your routine. Nothing is safe, because when you want to transform, everything around you has to align or be left behind. That means saying no more often. That means choosing growth over entertainment, peace over gossip, silence over chaos. 6 months of strategic alignment will elevate your energy, your clarity, your fire. You can't fly while clinging to anchors. Most people fail because they lie to themselves. I'll start tomorrow. It's not the right time. I'm just figuring things out. That's not strategy. That's fear dressed as logic. You want to be rich? Start now. Messy, unready, but honest. The moment you stop lying to yourself is the moment you begin winning. The mirror never lies. Look deep. What needs to be destroyed? What needs to be rebuilt? 6 months of brutal honesty will save you 10 years of regret. Your past does not define you. It informs you, but it doesn't control you. Stop carrying your old story like a badge. Rich people rewrite their script every damn day. They know that who they were is irrelevant compared to who they're becoming. You've made mistakes? Good. That means you're alive. That means you've got data. Now use it. Build something wild with it. 6 months of forward focus will silence every chapter of failure with a climax called success. Your environment is either your prison or your playground, so fix it. Clean your space. Cut the noise, burn distractions. Your surroundings program your thoughts, and your thoughts program your destiny. You think rich people live in chaos? Never. Their environment reflects their future. Every corner of your life should whisper, greatness lives here. 6 months of intentional living, physically, mentally, emotionally, will rewire your entire operating system. Start today. And lastly, learn to clap for yourself. Yes, you, because most won't. And that's okay. You're not doing this for praise. You're doing it for peace, for purpose, for your future self. The one who will look back and whisper, thank you for not giving up. Celebrate progress, not perfection. Honor small wins. 6 months of daily victory will stack into a life so powerful no one can deny it. Not even you. You are your own revolution. And it starts now. It all starts with silence. Not just external silence, but the kind where you finally hear your inner voice. That real one, not the one polluted by opinions, fear, or pressure. Rich minds are carved in solitude. Why? Because silence exposes your truth. You realize where you've been lazy, where you've been lying, where you've been waiting. And in that silence, something shifts, your hunger wakes up. 6 months of purposeful solitude will make you mentally unshakable. Alone doesn't mean empty, it means focused. You don't need applause, you need accountability. Stop chasing compliments and start chasing consistency. Rich people didn't get rich because everyone believed in them. They got rich because they kept showing up, even when no one cared. No claps, no likes, no backup, just war with self-doubt and a vision too big to quit. If you make these next 6 months about discipline instead of dopamine, about legacy instead of likes, your life will never look the same again. That's the truth. Your future is a reflection of your standard. Not your goals, your standards. Everyone wants success, but what do you accept? Are you okay with mediocrity, with wasted days, with empty excuses? If yes, then you're choosing to stay stuck. But if your standard rises, if you no longer tolerate inconsistency, drama, procrastination, then you become unstoppable. Rich people raise their standards until success becomes inevitable. 6 months of non-negotiable excellence changes everything. Learn to think like an architect, not a tourist. Stop wandering through life hoping things will change. That's not how winners move. Plan, strategize, analyze. Break your goals into blueprints. Break the blueprints into action. Every single day should be accounted for, tracked, measured, sharpened. You don't get lucky, you get lethal. That's how rich people build empires. Piece by piece, not prayer by prayer. 6 months of architecture over autopilot will put you 10 years ahead. Kill the version of you that flinches when it's hard. That's the enemy. The one who runs when uncomfortable, who avoids pain, who hides from challenge. That self has to die violently. Because the real you, the unstoppable version, is forged through discomfort. Rich people don't escape pain, they master. 6 months of saying yes to pressure, to growth, to fear will leave behind a version of you that's sharper, louder, stronger than ever imagined. This is the rebirth. You will lose people. Let that sink in. Not everyone will cheer for your elevation. Some will mock it. Others will fade. And some will try to pull you back. Let them go. You can't fly while dragging dead weight. Transformation is lonely at first, but freedom always is. Rich people aren't surrounded by the familiar, they're surrounded by the necessary. 6 months of walking alone will attract the right tribe. But first, burn the bridges that lead back to smallness. Resentment is poison, and success is the antidote. Don't waste your life trying to prove people wrong. Prove yourself right. You don't need revenge, you need results. Turn their doubts into drive, but don't carry their names into your new chapter. Rich people don't talk about who hurt them. They talk about what they built. 6 months of tunnel vision turns bitterness into brilliance. Let them talk. While they gossip, you'll be building your kingdom in silence. You're not chasing money. You're chasing power. The power to control your day, your energy, your direction. That's what rich people have. Autonomy. And that power starts with the decision to own your time. Say no more often. Own your calendar, protect your mornings, eliminate distractions. 6 months of intentional time mastery makes you unstoppable. Because when you own your time, you own your life. And that's the real flex. Forgive your old self, but don't excuse it. Look at the version of you that wasted time, feared change, blamed others, and thank them for surviving. But now, take the wheel. Transformation isn't about hating who you were. It's about upgrading who you are. Rich people evolve without guilt. They don't dwell, they pivot. 6 months of active evolution, of forgiving without forgetting, creates clarity. And clarity is the beginning of domination. Now breathe, not to relax, but to prepare. You've got the map, you've got the pain, you've got the vision. The only thing left to do is move. No more someday, no more hesitation. This is it. Your life, your shot, your 6 months of transformation. Lock in, shut out the noise, and work like your future depends on it. Because it does. You're not doing this just to win. You're doing it to never lose again. Start today, become the proof, and never ever go back.